Paul Cheng, who is chairman of the China High Growth Fund. He also recently published a book called Redefining China's Relationship with America and the West. Good to see you once again, Paul.
Good to see you.
First off, what's your take on Xi Jinping's arrival in the U.S.?
I think he's presenting himself on a very relaxed and confident manner, and I think he was very well received with an elaborate ceremony that is even more elaborate than previous leaders.
A more elaborate ceremony. He only got a 19-gun salute, not 21 when he went to the Pentagon.
Well, he has to wait till he becomes president.
That's right, until you get a full 21 salute. Right. Okay, but wouldn't you say, arguably, that Xi Jinping is a different man from the current president, Hu Jintao? I mean, he is more modern, some say, more open, more of a character than the current president.
Well, I think he's certainly more worldly. He is more friendly in his disposition, and I think he'll do very well in sort of encouraging more open dialogue with the United States leaders.
Right.
So I think it's very good for the future.
Very good for the future. So are you saying with Xi Jinping in office that we might see these tensions ease between the U.S. and China in terms of the disagreements they have in trade and human rights, et cetera, et cetera?
That will depend on the U.S. election, because he will become the leader of China, but whether Obama will get reelected will remain to be seen.
Really? The incumbent usually wins 76% of the time.
Well, it all depends.
Okay, so Xi Jinping, the next leader in waiting. Are you surprised he actually made that trip to Iowa, the corn husking state? He bought about $4.3 billion worth of soybeans from the U.S.?
I think they're trying to present him as with a softer image. And also, he has been there 27 years ago, and he wanted to revisit the family that was very nice to him. And also, agricultural products from Iowa is very important as an export commodity. So I think there are different reasons why he decided to stop there.
Okay, but isn't there still some disagreements? I mean, I don't think the U.S. recognizes China as a market economy yet, which allows more free trade, et cetera, et cetera. Do you think that's going to be achieved anytime soon with Xi in office?
I think both sides have a lot of work to do. I think both sides need to open up a little bit more. And, for example, he's trying to convince Washington to open up the market for Chinese companies to invest more in the U.S. For example, there's a company near Detroit called Nixtier, an auto parts company that the Chinese bought into, and they're now expanding the operations and creating thousands of more jobs.
Yeah, there are a few stories recently that Chinese companies are actually buying up ailing U.S. ones and not taking the jobs away from the U.S. into China, but actually adding to positions in the U.S. as well. So this is, I guess, some would say, thawing of any tensions in the trade relationship. Okay, so Xi Jinping, the next leader of the PRC, do you think he's going to make a good one in the future?
I think so. I think pending on the team that he's going to assemble, because as you know, China runs the country like a company with a board of directors of 9 leaders. So it all depends on the team that they will have in the upcoming reshuffle.
All right. And are you surprised by the frank talk coming from Obama? I was, when he was really hitting Xi Jinping hard on human rights, the human rights record, the trade balance, or the yuan, and also talk about Syria as well. That's veto in the UN.
But I think that's all domestic politics leading up to the presidential election.
Right. So Obama has to talk tough, doesn't he?
Sure. So hopefully, after all that is over, the road towards a better U.S.-China relationship will be on track.
Okay. Paul, thanks for talking to us this morning.